Welcome everyone to the Icla da Silva Foundation Hope Gala. I'm so happy for all of you who join us here tonight. Of course, I would love to be at Augusta Venue celebrating with you that amazing evening, but this year, as you all know, we have to meet virtually. What I can tell you is that it has been an amazing year. Despite the world pandemic, I'm very proud to report that Icla continues to be very strong. Our team has worked very hard to continue to save more lives. So I wanted to thank all of you for your support throughout the years and continue to be with us during the difficult times. I want to share with you some amazing stories tonight, and I will start by sharing a video about the foundation, about our history, our activities, and our accomplishments.
A Brazilian girl who loved to dance. A child who taught everyone around her how to fight for life. This 13-year-old girl named Icla inspired the creation and gave her name to the Icla da Silva Foundation, an organization that helps those in need of bone marrow transplants. Icla was a healthy child until complaints of pain in her legs led to a shocking diagnosis: leukemia. The only hope was to find a matching marrow donor outside her family, but that was impossible in Brazil since the country didn't have a national donor registry back then. So in 1989, the Da Silva family moved to New York City and started holding marrow drives within the Brazilian community there. Friends and family frantically searched for a compatible donor, someone that would give Icla a second chance at life. After 2 years battling leukemia, Icla passed away. A match was never found. But Icla left a note behind. "Dear Mom, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I want you to help all of my friends." That was her final wish. So in 1992, 1 year after Icla's death, her family created the Icla da Silva Foundation. Almost 3 decades later, it has grown to become the largest recruitment center for Be the Match, the national marrow registry in the US. The foundation hosts over 2,000 marrow recruitment events every year in major cities across the country, including Puerto Rico. The Icla da Silva Foundation has added more than 500,000 donors to the registry. Almost 100 patients per year receive their life-saving transplant because of the work of the foundation. Despite the recent pandemic, 2020 was a record-breaking year for the foundation. Registration efforts led to more transplants in 2020 than each of the last 4 years. This was great news, but their work is not complete. More than 70 diseases are treatable with a bone marrow transplant, but a successful transplant requires a matching donor. And finding that donor, especially if the patient is ethnically diverse, is a major barrier to receiving this life-saving treatment. There are over 22 million donors on the Be the Match registry. Unfortunately, the registry lacks the diversity necessary to match every searching patient. Hispanic patients only have a 46% chance of finding their match. African American patients only have a 23% chance of finding a matching donor. The Icla da Silva Foundation is working to change these statistics. They focus on recruiting potential donors from all segments of the population, and they will not stop until they can ensure that every patient has the same chance of finding a life-saving match. The ability to help patients in need will not stop because of the pandemic. The foundation will face every challenge head-on. Until every patient finds a match, their work will not be done. Once a match is finally found, a bone marrow or stem cell transplant includes long periods of medical treatment. In addition to adding donors to the registry, the Icla da Silva Foundation also helps patients and their families with emotional, logistical, and financial support during treatment. Your support is vital to the work of the Icla da Silva Foundation. With your assistance, they can continue helping patients and saving the lives of children and adults in need of a marrow transplant. Together with your help, the Icla da Silva Foundation will save more lives.
At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Jennifer Jones Austin, a transplant recipient, a leukemia survivor, and our master of ceremony for this evening. Jennifer, welcome to the Hope Gala.
Good evening. Good evening. So good to be here. Always good to be with you, Iram, and all of the supporters of the Icla da Silva Foundation. I just watched that video with Icla and just thought about her parting words. I want you to help all of my friends. That's the work that Icla da Silva Foundation has been doing and continues to do. As Iram shared with you all, I am leukemia survivor, and I'm a direct beneficiary of the extraordinary work of the Icla da Silva Foundation. Time doesn't allow for me to share with you all that the Icla da Silva Foundation did for me in my great moment, my moment of great need, I should say. It was a great moment, and it was a moment of great need. Suffice it to say, my family and I, and more than 100 others across this nation, are eternally grateful to Icla da Silva Foundation for all that the organization did for me when I was struggling with leukemia. I'm truly honored to spend this evening with you, lifting up and celebrating the life-changing work of this great organization. I want to thank you all for joining us and for your unwavering support. In the years since many of us last gathered at Guastavinos for Icla's annual gala, that beautiful edifice, so much has happened in the world, challenges at every turn. We've all been affected, some sadly and tragically, more than others, but still, we've all been impacted, which makes your being here with us this evening all the more special. So again, thank you. Thank you for being with us. This evening, in the short time we have together, we're going to introduce and reintroduce to you the Icla da Silva Foundation through the stories of patients and families whose lives have been forever changed through the work of this great foundation. You'll hear from our gala co-chairs and again from Iram da Silva, whose commitment to honoring the legacy of his sister by helping meet the needs of so many who are struggling with blood cancers and blood diseases is unparalleled. And you will bear witness to how our collective support of Icla is truly helping to save and change lives every single day. Yes, even in this virtual moment, we get to experience the most precious of all moments, when a Marrow recipient meets her donor for the very first time. But first, my co-host, Glenn Flatterbow, will join us now and let you all know how you too can support the tremendous work of Icla and help us reach this evening's fundraising goal of $200,000. Glenn, let's get started.
Jennifer, it is great to be with you tonight, and thank you everyone at home for rallying with us and gathering. And Jennifer, I'm going to have you stay with me for just a second. I love this organization. I love the mission. I've done work for the National Bone Marrow Registry, Be the Match across the country. And tonight's important. It is critical what we do together. Our goal tonight is to see if we can raise $200,000 together, $200,000. And Jennifer, listen to this. Right now, I just looked at the screen while you were talking. We are now over 141,000. So we have less than $60,000 to go. So less than 60,000. But Jennifer, I want to say one thing to you personally before we start the rest of our program. Number one, thank you for all that you've done. You have been a leader. You have been a spokesperson. You've led one of the most successful recruitment efforts to add people to the registry. You added 14,000 folks to the registry, mostly in the African American community. We are so grateful for all that you've done, Jennifer. You have been a remarkable board member and leader, and we're so grateful. So thank you, Jennifer. And one thing that's been moving to me, and I've thought a lot about this in regards to tonight. Our goal is to get to $200,000. And $200,000, here's what it'll do. It'll add over 13,000 new potential blood stem cell donors to the registry, as well as provide financial support to families right now during COVID, when many and the logistics are so difficult. But Jennifer, here's what I thought about. It isn't the number of just 13,000. It is that one child or that one adult that's waiting for hope. They're waiting for that phone call. Isn't that moving to you? I mean, that's what I've spent thinking about tonight in regards to this goal.
Absolutely. When my family and my friends rallied on my behalf and they found me more than 14,000 friends across this nation, what we always thought about was that it only takes one. And with the support of people who are joining us this evening, they can help us find that one, because it only takes one. But sometimes we need many people to join to find that one. And we need people's support to do that tonight. Your support will help find that one.
That's exactly right. So there's two ways to give. You can text a pledge anytime throughout the performance to Icla Gala, which is one word, ICLAGALA, to 41444. When you do that, by the way, right away on the screen, it'll show up and our thermometer will move. So you can text a gift. You can also make a gift on our website at any time. There's a donate button. It is orange in color. Just hit that donate button and immediately your gift will go in to the thermometer and show us as we get closer to 200,000. I am so excited about this next section. This little boy is 8 years old, Alfredo Diaz. He's been waiting for a donor his entire life. It's a remarkable story. Let's play Alfredo's story.
In the summer of 2015, that Alfredo has a blood disorder. It's called the IL-10 receptor deficiency. And then she said that the only cure or the only thing that we can do is to find a stem cell match, give him a transplant, and that will be his cure. I think it was going to be an easy way, very easy to get that transplant done, but it's not, because there's no Hispanic donors that will match Alfredo yet. Alfredo was 3 years old when he started looking for a donor, but basically Alfredo needed the stem cell transplant since he was born, because he was not a healthy baby. I always pray that we find our matching donor, because it means for him to have a better life, better future, a healthy future, and for him not to suffer the pain that he has suffered through all these 8 years already. Getting injections, getting antibiotics very frequently is not a way of life. For me, it's very important to work with Icla da Silva, because they're amazing people who personally they have suffered, right? And they know how hard it is to find a matching donor for a family member. So we keep waiting. We don't find a match. Other organs are being affected too. So Alfredo is starting to get affected in many ways on his body because of this illness that he has on his blood. And that's why we need to find a transplant very soon. I always ask God, please give me the strength to advocate for my son, to give me the knowledge to understand what the doctors are telling me, defend him and protect him too. So it means it has changed my life. It has given me I now see the life differently, and I hope that my son could be able to find his matching donor and have a better life we always pray, God, please help us find our matching donor, so we don't need so we could take out or get rid of our central line, get rid of our G-tube button, get rid of our ostomy bag, and have a normal body for this amazing kid without all those extras on his body, and to spend many more years with him, definitely, because I don't imagine my life without him, and I just want him to be as healthy as he can be. Around Christmas is like we don't want any gifts. We don't want any special gift for Christmas. Our gift is always finding or trying to have Alfredo at his best, or as his best health, and finding a donor will give us that opportunity too. Icla da Silva, they're amazing. They have done an amazing job by sharing our story, by trying to get more donors to register, more donors that understand our need for a stem cell match. that can feel our suffering, because we have suffered 8 years and we still haven't found our matching donor. So that's the kind of support we need. More donors, more persons that are willing to take this big step, because not just registering, taking the decision to donate your cells and help other persons in need.
That story is just remarkable. First of all, to Alfredo and your family, thank you for sharing your story tonight. We as a community are not going to only pray for you, we are going to rally and make a difference. And listen to this, everyone. While the video was playing, we received a gift of $10,000. A huge thank you to the Lopez family. Leslie and Mark Lopez have pledged $10,000. So we are inching closer to our goal every single moment. Again, a huge thank you to the Lopez family. I know that they've been supportive of this organization and the foundation for many, many years. My friends, we can do this together. We can rally throughout the program tonight. So when you're inspired and you like to make a gift, feel free to pledge that gift right now and watch the ticker go up as we get closer to $200,000. Jennifer, I know you're going to come back with me right now, but we have to celebrate. We just raised an additional $10,000. This is a big deal. It is a big deal. And by the way, Jennifer, isn't Alfredo the cutest little thing you've ever seen in your life?
I'm over here celebrating. It might look like I'm crying, but I'm over here celebrating. $10,000 is significant. We thank the Lopez family for what they've done, and we thank everybody who's donating. You know, as we've heard from you, Glenn, it couldn't be easier to give, but if you didn't feel like you had reason, Alfredo and his mother give you every reason to understand and appreciate why it's so important to donate to the Icla da Silva Foundation. And for anybody out there, I can't imagine who, but anybody out there who still needs more reasons, we've got a few more stories to share with you. And so I'm going to ask Iram to come back in and share with our guests a couple more stories about the lives that Icla has been able to touch and impact, just like they've done Alfredo.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. We'll be sharing this Alfredo's story. We have been working with Alfredo for so many years right now. It's such a wonderful little boy. And before I talk any more about Alfredo, why don't I share his story with all of you?
When he was like around like 1, like we started going to like different pediatricians because we just felt something was just like not right. He was a little bit more yellow than other kids his age. They weren't quite sure what was going on with him. We went to Baptist, we went to Children's, we went to different hospitals. He was on different steroids, different androgens, just to try to figure out what would help him. I had no idea what it was until we decided, okay, we can't keep treating something that we don't even know what's going on and could cause them any harm. We ended up going to Boston because they're supposed to be one of the best blood hospitals there is. So it didn't take much time for them to find out the answers. It's just, I guess we just weren't in the right place. The diagnosis that he got was it's sclerosis congenita, which is like 1 in 1 million kids get it, or people get it. And one of the options was, well, they mentioned that we went back, was the option was going to be transplant. And they said, you guys have like a good possibility of finding a donor. It won't take long. It'll probably take within a year or less to find a donor, and that everything's going to be okay. And that wasn't the case.
Yeah, we had a hit for a match, I think a couple months after that.
Like 3 months.
Yeah, and what turns out that they didn't want to come forward. They didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So we ended up waiting, I think it was another 5 years for our next match. That came up, we had the same situation where the person didn't want to go through it.
I fell into a really deep depression. I was super depressed. I didn't want to do anything. Everything I was like I was just questioning everything. I even mentioned to my husband, I told him, can we just offer them the house, let's sell the house and give them the money?
When the match was found in June, we were very excited.
I found my donut.
Isn't that awesome?
Hey, now he can play soccer with me.
Yeah.
I love you.
Oh, the praying we did. Look at that. How do you feel?
I love you, baby. Good.
Yeah? Oh my God, look at that chocolate cake all over your face.
Oh,
Are you excited?
I love Papi.
How do you feel, baby?
Good.
What do you want to say to that person?
Thank you.
You know, we were first we had, you know, in the back of our minds, we thought, okay, what if this happens again when the person backs out? But, you know, it turned out to be one of the great things to happen to us because we're here.
We're here now, yeah, definitely.
All our family was happy, you know, as far as we were moving on to the next chapter that's in his life. And when we came back, his prep started, all the chemo, and he received the transplant in mid-July.
After he got the cells, it was a pretty tough week. He got fevers. He was like throwing up. He was like in pain. So then the doctors were like, oh, well, this is all normal. This is just, you know, his body's like overstimulating so many cells and they're coming in. This is a part of it. And then it got to the point they were like, okay, something's going on. It's not working. So they would do like draw blood, and then they found out, okay, his body was rejecting the transplant. And that was hard because this was the only donor that we had. We have had a total of 4 transplants. Well, Julian has had 4 transplants. It's not what we expected. Nothing has been what we expected it would be. But this transplant, thank God, it has been going great. His cells are coming in. He's off his today. He's off his pain med for a little bit. So he's doing amazing, right, Bobby? Your cells are doing great. Even while he sleeps, his cells are growing, and that's what matters. So today's a good day. You know, that's great. He's up early, he's eating, and that's kind of like how we trained ourselves. We try not so much to think about what happened yesterday and what's going to happen tomorrow, because then it gets hard. Icla da Silva Foundation has been helping us since Julian was first diagnosed, which was at the age of 3. Icla da Silva Foundation has helped us like in so many different ways, not just finding donors. Obviously, it's the most important thing. That's something that we have not ever really been concerned about, because I know day in and day out, everyone's constantly working, doing their best. Even with this whole pandemic going on, they have also helped us financially. And I think most importantly, like just emotional support. I think everyone has been there since the beginning. And I think there's not one time I probably haven't like cried or, you know, just they'll constantly message like, hey, how are you today? You know, everything's gonna be fine. They'll reassure us like, you know, we're doing everything we can. And that is honestly the best messages that I could have ever gotten. I feel like you guys are more of a family than just an organization. And you guys help so many different families as far as like trying to find donors, and you guys never stop. I see it all the time everywhere.
Wow. Julian, like Alfredo, little boys with so much strength and so much courage, and families with so much strength and courage. And a lot of that strength is from within, but also because they know that the Icla da Silva Foundation is with them, walking with them. I know that that's how they feel, and that's where they draw some of this strength from, because I and my family experienced the same. I'm just so thankful that Icla Foundation is here to walk side by side with these families and with other families, providing the support that they so desperately need in challenging times like this.
Jennifer, I join you right now just to share that Julia really wants to be part of this event. And guess what? He has joined us live right now. So we'd love to hear directly from him. Hi, Julian.
Hi.
Hi.
How is your...
Thank you for coming.
How are you doing today, Julian?
Good.
You look good. You feel
Doing
good?
great. He's doing great. We just wanted to share like a little update. Today's a good day.
We're almost out of here.
Almost. We're transitioning to oral meds. So that's a huge and big step. We're working on the therapy for him to be able to walk out of here, right? Because you're going to walk out of here, right? And we're just super, super thankful to be here and just want to say thank you for everyone for coming on behalf of the Icla da Silva Foundation. And we appreciate all the help that you guys have given us since the age of 3, since Julian was 3 years old. He's now how old, puppy?
9.
9.
Wow.
And like they said before, all it takes is one donor, one person to register. And, that's also not possible if people don't provide funding. And just thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Julian.
Julian.
Great to see you.
Wow. Whew.
Such
Doing
an
the work.
amazing boy. Such
Wonderful.
an amazing boy. 4 transplants, Jennifer. And, this one, he's getting out of meds and finally, and hopefully we definitely need to celebrate when he's...
I had 1 transplant, and I just remember how challenging that was. So for him to have endured and still be smiling with 4 transplants, it's just a blessing. It's a miracle. And moving to oral meds is a big deal. But they owe so much of it to you, Iram. I know so well, because with Icla there, you have the hope and a sense of confidence that you've got a partner in this fight who's going to fight with you at every turn.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And speaking of Icla, I want to invite
doing the work. This is what she wanted. And for 28 years, you stayed the course. She has more friends than she could ever imagine because you've brought her so many friends. You've given to us because of her.
So I want to invite Ty Phillips to join us because he's part of this story. Ty.
Hi, Iram. Good to see you today. So I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. That's a cancer that attacks the bone marrow, similar to leukemia. I was diagnosed a week before my daughter's first birthday. At the time, the doctors weren't very optimistic because this cancer is usually found in much older people. Someone like myself, they'd really never seen. I was in my early 20s. They figured if treatment went well, I probably had a year or 2. As you'd expect, or I wouldn't be on here. Treatment didn't go well, at least initially, and it didn't do anything for me. So I came back home, moved back home to be with family. And that's where I met my doctor, Dr. Maziarz. When I first met him, he was holding my chart and reading through it as he opened the door. My wife of about 4 years and daughter was about a year and a half or so at the time. We're all just standing there looking at him, and he eventually says, "Oh, multiple myeloma. We'll get you a bone marrow transplant. You'll be fine." And that was it. And he walked out the door. That was the first bit of hope we'd had since I was diagnosed. We'd gone, close to 6 months at that point, not knowing if I would ever see her second birthday. our next challenge was really finding a donor. My father was adopted. We didn't know it at the time, but he was Brazilian. So very low chances of finding a good match in the system. My donor that we found, Araldo Oliveira, he was entered into the registry while he was working for the Brazilian consulate in New York when the De Silvas were looking for a donor for Icla. So the foundation and all of the donors and Icla's strength to keep going and keep helping people are what gave me life and hope for the next 28 years. And during that time is where we live, right? I made a goal when we started talking about transplant to see her second birthday. And I was still in the hospital, but I saw it. No. And so I made a new goal. And I said, well, let's make it to her first day of school. We did that. Can we make it to see her graduate? She graduated high school. We just kept setting goals, and we got to see her play sports. She played soccer. And so we saw her graduate high school, and we saw her graduate college then eventually. Every time setting new goals and hoping that we could make it to them. Eventually we started seeing some of the big ones. I walked my little girl down the aisle on her wedding day a few years ago. And this little munchkin, she showed up in late July of this year. So we got to see all the big ones. I don't even know what to hope for now. We never thought we'd make it this far, but really thanks to the Icla da Silva Foundation providing hope and support for all of us every day when we need it. Everyone on this call can help with donations to get more people registered and save more lives. We all want to make it to those next milestones with our family and friends, and everyone here can help with that. You might be able to provide that hope that for someone that may not have it today. So thank you very much, Iram. Thank you to the De Silva Foundation and all the support that you provide to everybody else. We thank you. Thanks, everyone.
No, thank you, Ty. As always, we kept in touch all those years. And one thing that I want to share with everyone is that, our AC Ty, guys, he's the living proof of Icla's dream of, saving lives someday. So it means so much to me to know you and see you with your new family, your baby. But you are the living proof of Icla's dream of saving other lives. So thank you, Ty, for joining us today. Beautiful, cute baby. And we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Your story and Alfredo's story and Julian's story. They're telling the story of Icla da Silva Foundation and why this organization and your support of this organization is so critical. And I'm seeing that people, feel like you and I do, Iram, that this work must continue because I see in the chat that people are donating. So thank you. Please keep the donations coming. Every dollar makes a difference and can create more stories, more positive stories, save the lives of so many people. And people have goals of seeing their children and their grandchildren succeed in life. Thank you. So we've arrived at the moment that gives all of us joy. If we were at Guastavinos right now, you all would know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to keep you in suspense. It's that moment that that gives value and meaning to what this work is all about. The moment when we, supporters of Icla and its critical life-saving work, get to witness, get to experience the fruits of their labors and the impact of our contributions. This is the moment when we get to witness two people whose lives have been forever positively changed because of Icla. When a former patient meets her bone marrow donor for the very first time. This is Joanne's story.
Before my diagnosis, I considered myself very healthy. I went to the gym routinely. I'm a school teacher. I loved going to work and my children. My family also has a winery, so I would be there. I'd do my school job Monday through Friday, go work the winery Saturday and Sunday. I was very busy, very active, felt great. And one of the signs I noticed was a little fatigue. When I first got the diagnosis, of course, I did what everybody says not to do. I Googled to see what I was up against. I saw survival rates. I Googled the bone marrow biopsy, everything you're not supposed to look at. So as I started going deeper and deeper into it, I said, wow, this is a really big deal. This is life or death. The doctors assured me that it was, treatable, curable. So that was reassuring. However, at the same time in my family, I had a niece who had just been diagnosed months before me with breast cancer. My brother-in-law has just been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. My parents obviously are elderly, so having to tell them, they just broke down in tears thinking it was the end. I'd asked Dr. Robos at our first meeting, well, what happens if we don't have a transplant, if we don't go through with this? And she point blank said, she's gonna die. And she said that. I looked at my husband. He had tears in his eyes. I looked at her. She had tears in her eyes. And, that just kind of sealed the deal that this was serious and we were all going to have to work together to get through this. When I had my first visit with Dr. Robos and we discussed the disease and what we were up against, she mentioned the need for a transplant. That was the only way that this MDS was going to be cured. When we heard that my donor had been confirmed, we were all excited. We were glad that we were going to start the process, but still, there was not a definite date prescribed. So we were still kind of waiting day by day, and I think it was by the end of the week they were like, "No, you're coming to the hospital on Monday." I was admitted to the hospital on September 17th and did my 6 days of intense chemotherapy. The following Monday was a day of rest, and on September 24th, it was about 11:30 in the morning, I received my transplant. There's a photograph of me looking at this bag as it's being infused, but now I was there and I was the recipient. I was in the bed watching, but Beatrice was with me right from the get-go. She didn't know me. She did this awesome, generous thing, but she was there, becoming a part of me. One evening I was in bed and my phone was next to me, and I heard the ding of the phone, and I picked it up and looked, and I saw this woman's face, and it was a friend request for Facebook, and I was like, who is this person? And I just put the phone back down, and a little annoyed that it was 11 o'clock at night and someone was, dinging my phone. I got up the next morning and I read the message to see who this person was, and I just started crying. I nudged my husband and, read this. Just the excitement, the happiness was overwhelming. It was just tears tears of joy. So of course, the first thing I do, I call my parents. I get a hold of my siblings, and they're thrilled. And the fact that that she's so close in Massachusetts, and that her heritage, that being Brazilian, I thought was just the neatest thing. That we came from two different parts of the world, and yet something about us is compatible. I thought was amazing. The fact that she signed up to be a donor 22 years ago, and still wanted to as the years went by.
I can't believe this is finally happening. Thanks to the foundation, we are doing it today. I can't wait to meet her. My family can't wait to meet her. My parents. I mean, the whole family's on pins and needles, anticipating her arrival. Very exciting day.
Today's a wonderful day, beautiful day out here on the North Fork, and we're excited to meet Beatrice today for the wonderful gift that she gave my wife and giving her back her life and her personality and the ability to be with us for the next 30 years. So we're very excited.
Can't wait to meet you, Beatrice. I'm very excited and thankful for you for saving my mom and getting her back to us. Thank you. I'm so thankful to meet the woman who saved my mom and help her get better. Very thankful.
I'm in the ferry boat going to Long Island, meeting a person who got my stem cells, and I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to meet her in person. It's so exciting. I got a new sister, and what I feel I never felt before inside me it's something big. It's amazing, and I'm so glad she's well, and I'm so glad I'm going to meet her today.
They say that she's 10 minutes away. Can't wait for her to arrive, and it's going to be a very exciting, very emotional meeting. I can't wait.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart chose? Only time. Who can say what your heart says as your love lies? Only time. And who can say why your heart cries when your love lies? Only time.
It was an unexpected surprise and treat, and because we didn't know when we were going to meet each other.
No, not at all.
This.
I can't wait to see it. Oh, that was a bikini.
You started calling me a little sister. I thought that was appropriate.
Oh. Yeah. What would be the sister joy?
Think of your heart. So special person is coming up.
Hi, Dad. And I promise, God, you're an angel, let me tell you. Oh, we love you.
Joanne is a special person. We shed many, many tears when she was diagnosed with a problem, and we were often wondering where the donor would be coming from. Would be from the West Coast. Nobody knew, but thank God to Beatrice. She's a godsend to the whole family. And we can't praise her enough for what she's done to give our daughter a life. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have a daughter. And our brothers and sisters wouldn't have a sister. And right now, I'd like to welcome Beatrice as part of our family. And from the bottom of our hearts, we can't thank her enough for what she has done.
When I saw her, the feelings, it's so emotional, and I'm so happy I saved her life, especially because she has 4 kids, she has a big family, and I make everybody happy. I'm so happy for that. I consider her like my baby sister now because she's younger than me. So my real baby sister lost her throne, so I have a new baby sister, and I love to be here with them now, and I can see how their family is happy because I'm here. It's amazing.
She's very special. She'll always be very special in our family. Special place in the heart.
Glenn, before I turn back to you, I want to invite Joanne, who joined us here live, to say a few words. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Iram. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you.
Me too. The tears came back. Happy tears all over again. I just can't thank you and the Icla da Silva Foundation enough for your efforts to build that donor registry and go out and recruit those donors for people like me. It made a big difference in our family, and Beatrice was a godsend. She was my earth angel to selflessly give of herself.
Thank you, Joanne. And you are such an inspiration to all of us. That's what keeps us going. Thank you for sharing your story. And I'm so happy that we got to meet. And thank you for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here. And thank you again for matching me and Beatrice. She's a beautiful person.
She is. Thank you. Hi, Glenn. Welcome back.
Hiram, thank you. Joanne, I want to say one thing to you personally. I had a sneak peek at that video this afternoon, and I'm sitting at my desk watching that video and wiping the tears from my eyes. I feel so thankful for this organization, for this foundation, what we're going to do tonight. This is a big, big deal, my friends. And this is the moment right now, together, that we need your help. We are now over 155,000. I'm looking at the screen right now. We're over $155,835. We have less than $45,000 to raise to hit our $200,000 goal. As you just heard, the difference of this work is life and death. It makes all the difference, not just for families like Joanne and kids like Alfredo, but families across the country. We can make a difference right now in our own homes, in our own offices. We can rally as a community and raise $200,000. Let's do this together right now, everybody. Again, you can take a moment to text your pledge by hitting 41444 and type in Icla Gala, ICLA Gala, all one word, or you can go to the donate box right on the screen and make a gift. Again, a huge thank you to the Lopez family. They give us $10,000 about 25 minutes ago. Thank you to Mark and his family for that generous gift. That was $10,000. Is there anyone else tonight who'd consider making a $10,000 gift? A $10,000 gift. And here's what $10,000 will do. It'll add 100 people. Just think of that, 100 people, marrow donors like Beatrice, to the registry. Beatrice If I could give you a hug right now, I'd give you the biggest hug in the world. Your story and what you've done is so inspiring. Is there anyone tonight willing to add and make a gift of $10,000? Anyone at the $10,000 level? Here's what $5,000 will do. Not only will it add people to the registry, but it will also provide financial support right now to families to help coordinate the match, coordinate their care, offer financial assistance, whether they need lodging or transportation assistance. A gift of $5,000 will add 50 donors to the registry. Thank you for everyone considering a gift of $5,000. And I want to highlight some of the names that are making gifts as the program has been airing. Ricardo, a huge thank you to you for your donation tonight. Andrew, he just made a gift of $1,000. Andrew, thank you for your $1,000 gift. Lusanne, she made a gift tonight. Tressa made a gift tonight. We also have many other gifts coming in. Anna Maria, thank you for your donation tonight. Again, anyone considering to make a $5,000 or $10,000 gift, please feel free to do it right now. Let me hit a couple other numbers for you. A gift of $2,500. Here's what that'll allow us to do. $2,500, a donation of $2,500 will enable us to add more than 25 Marrow donors to the registry, as well as provide financial assistance to families that are in need and waiting for a donor right now. A gift of $2,500 will make a huge difference. We are now over $156,000. We're over $156,000. We are getting closer every single moment. A gift of $1,000. Any gift of a contribution of $1,000 will add dozens of new people to the registry. It'll allow us opportunities to take our message into communities and highlight the importance of the registry, get the word out so other folks are aware of the value and importance of adding themselves to the registry. Every gift will help us expand our mission and spread this news across our communities of the importance of this work right now. My friends, we are itching closer. The ticker keeps going up. A gift of $500 will help a patient in need right now. If everyone could take a moment to make a gift, you can text that gift right now. I'm watching the ticker go up as we do this together. You can text your gift, or you can go to our website and hit the donate button. Any gift will make a difference. I also want to highlight, right now we've had 104 people support us. We've had 104 guests make a gift. Our goal is to see if we can get close to 100% participation. So every gift matters, whether you give $10,000 or $20,000 or $2,500 or $50 or $10. Every single gift makes a difference for us tonight. Let's see if we can get that participation close to 100% and have people participate all across the country that are watching tonight. Thank you, everyone, for rallying. You can take a moment right now to make a gift. Iram, when you come back, and I'd like you to join me for a second before I toss it back to you. I'd like to say one thing to you, and I know that everyone feels the same as I do when they're watching this. You have dedicated your entire life to this, not only to honor your sister's legacy, but to make a difference for people across the country, families and individuals that you will never meet. I cannot sing your praises loud enough for your leadership, for your commitment, for your dedication. Literally, Iram has been emailing me sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning the last 3 days. He's been getting up, working on tonight's event. Iram, thank you for all that you've done. We are going to rally together and get close to 200,000 or perhaps get past it. It is remarkable, your leadership, Iram.
No, thank you, Glenn, for those kind words. And you said people around the country are donating to the foundation. Let me add, people around the world is donating to this cause because they believe in us, they believe in Be the Match. And together we continue to add more donors to the registry. So I know personally how important that is and how we save lives by adding more donors. And we cannot do our work without the support from everyone, regardless if it's $5 or if it is $50,000. You know, it all adds up. When a family calls me and asks for, Iram, we are really struggling here. We had to travel from Miami to Cincinnati for the treatment, and we are struggling with buying food. You know, $50 buying a meal for a family when they're struggling during that time, when mom and dad has to be there, and both of them has to leave work. So that's when they call us for that support, and we really wanted to help them find a match. So I want to thank everyone for their donation tonight, and always to the foundation for their support.
And Ira, one last piece. I want to thank Judy and Pete, Sharon, Denise, John. They've all made gifts in the last few minutes. Thank you to everyone for making gifts right now. The other thing that's really important to note is this mission right now is much more complex with COVID. Challenging to produce the matches, to execute them, to get them together. The organization has not stopped. They have not slowed. We've expanded. But if there was ever a time for us across the country and across the world to rally, given the challenge of COVID and the logistics, tonight is the night. My friends, thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for your considerations of making a gift. You can make a gift at any level right now. Iram, thank you again.
Thank you, Glenn. And I want also to add and thank our gala co-chairs for this evening, Tanae and Claudio Braz Ferro, as well as Renata and Claudio Garcia. And I am happy that they wanted to share a video with us, a few words about their involvement with their foundation. So Renata will share her message first.
Good evening and welcome to Icla da Silva Hope Virtual Gala. I am Renata Garcia, your virtual co-chair. At the gala last year, I said that at Icla Foundation, we don't say there is no match for this patient. We say there is no match yet. And this message conveys hope to patients, family, and friends. This year, hope is even more crucial for Icla and for everyone. So I will just borrow Emily's Dickinson words to say, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. At Icla, we don't stop believing, we don't give up hope. And tonight, we hope you will support this extraordinary organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Renata, for your words. And I want to invite also Tanaya to say a few words with us. For all of you tonight.
Unfortunately, 2020 has been an exceptional, difficult year for all of us. We could never imagine that the world would be experiencing this invisible war, while at the same time, many other diseases still continue to affect people. Among of these diseases are those whose cure can only happen through the bone marrow transplantation. Many people will begin and indeed continue their struggles against this terrible disease this year. And we know that there are some possibilities of cure for many of the serious health challenges. The Icla da Silva Foundation is a light for many, and the team at the foundation, led by Iran, have had to adapt to the times, continue save lives and bring hope. I want to congratulate this tireless team that despite such a difficult times managed to help carry out more than 100 bone marrow transplantation and also increased significantly the number of donors. I also want to thank all of you who have in some way helped the Icla da Silva Foundation to exist. Thank you for what you donate, for contacts you made, for joining us in this virtual meeting, and for what you plan to do to help this foundation continue to save lives. Hope we can meet next time in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanae. I also wanted to thank our Life Save sponsors, Tanae and Claudio Ferro, as well as Renata and Claudio Garcia. Thank you very much for your support throughout the years. I want also to thank our donor recruitment sponsors, the Barry Foundation, the Brito Foundation, Mark and Leslie Lopez, Roberto Thompson Malta, and Amalia Spinati, as well as our patient supporter, Andrew Waterley and Jessica Lapping, and Williams Isom and Phil Isom, Brett Melching, LabCorp, and Sean and Jennifer Jones Austin. Jennifer, I'll invite you to join me again now before we say goodbyes to everyone and thank everyone for their attendance today. I'm so thankful for everyone for joining us this evening and for all the amazing contributions. But also want to thank you, Jennifer, throughout the years. You have taught me so much, through your personal story, through your involvement with the foundation and everything that you have done to support the cause. And thank you for joining us today. And I wanted to thank Glenn for joining us this evening to support, with the auction and sharing these stories as well. So I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. And it was a successful event. Hopefully everyone enjoy. And I just want to say that we will keep the website open for those who wants to continue to make donations for the weeks and days to come.
Thank you. You honor us in allowing us to be a part. And Sean, wherever he may be right now, says thank you, the board chair.
Thank you.
And Iram, the donations are coming in. The ticker is moving as we speak. So a personal thank you to all of you who made donations for your contributions. We are so grateful for your support tonight. And Iram, again, thank you for your leadership. I consider it a blessing to call you a friend. We are just so blessed to have you.
Now, thank you. It's the support of all of you that makes this possible. I cannot do alone. Our staff, our volunteers, our patients, our donors, it's all of us working together that we will continue to save more lives. And then I'll see you next year at the Hope Gala. Thank you all for joining and appreciate all the support.